What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we are checking out cost of living in the Netherlands, living in the Netherlands as an American. So these guys are fellow Americans living in the Netherlands. And let's see the cost of living. They might compare the two countries, Netherlands and America. But let's get on with it and see their thoughts on this. Don't forget, guys, smash the like button, subscribe. It truly helps out. And let's get it.
Before we moved to the Netherlands, one of the first things we did was budget our monthly expenses to understand if we could actually afford to live here. But we all know that estimates don't necessarily reflect reality. So now that we've been here for about 4 months, what is our monthly budget? And how does living in the Netherlands compare to our former lives in the United States?
All right.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Michelle.
We're Buncharted. Let's get into it.
Before we get started, I want to clarify that we're going to be discussing reoccurring costs. So one-off things like shopping, eating out, or traveling won't be included in this video.
First up, the thing that feels like it might become our biggest expense here in Europe, utilities. Right now, we're paying about 55 cents per kilowatt hour for electricity. Starting in January, the government announced that there's going to be a cap on energy prices here in the Netherlands, so it'll only be around 40 cents per kilowatt hour. In the US, we were paying about 5 cents per kilowatt hour.
Also,
I don't really understand the measurements on that.
The other thing that's really strange to us as Americans living abroad is the way that the Dutch companies actually bill you for your usage. Your contract is estimated based on, the age of your home, the energy efficiency, and how many people are living inside the home, and you get an installment amount. You can adjust that installment amount, whether you want to move it up or down a little bit. But again, they're never actually billing you for what you're using, which is how all of our electricity companies build us in the United States. And then instead, at the end of your contract or at the end of the year, they give you a settlement statement.
When we moved in here, we didn't fully appreciate the fact that this is a fully renovated apartment and that there were no gas appliances, but that's actually turned out to be a huge lifesaver since moving in. We don't pay anything for gas. That's a big zero.
Okay.
We pay
So everything is electric, I guess.
around 80 euros a month for electricity. And again, that's our installment amount. And then our district heating is about
That's
118 euros per month.
Not bad.
Basically the energy that they're using to heat our water.
And then for water, we pay around 25 euros a month. Okay, next up, taxes.
Not bad so far.
When we moved here, this part really felt like a mystery to us. We heard that you have to pay property tax even when you're renting, but we didn't quite understand that because in the US, that's a very strange concept. But we would start getting random letters in the mail asking for money, either from the city directly or from some sort of service on behalf of the city. So here we pay around 25 euros a month for property tax.
Okay.
And then there's also a levy on water purification and the sewer, and that's 14 euros a month.
With how we still don't really understand what that is.
We get the bill, we pay it.
People on Reddit said it was really a thing.
There's also contents insurance, which in the United States is called renter's insurance. That's 12 euros per month. That pretty much covers it in terms of the cost of living here in the apartment. Of course, we'll get to rent a little bit later.
All right, moving on to transit. So in the US, we didn't really drive that much since we both worked from home and we only had one car. But this is still a massive reduction in the monthly cost of gas and car insurance that we were paying previously. So we're paying about 35 euros per month per person for our OV chip cards.
But of course, that's going to go down when we eventually get our bikes, which is very soon, very soon. Okay, let's talk about internet. This one actually was really surprising to me when we...
I'm going to take a guess on this one. I would put it around 30 per month.
Moved here. I'm sort of an internet geek. I really care about having great internet.
That's same with me, bro. I need to have the best internet. Like, I have to,
In the apartment, which makes sense because, we stream, we do YouTube videos, we use the internet. The speed of the internet is actually very comparable to what we had in the States. So we've got a gigabit internet plan here in the Netherlands. We have it through KPN, but the cost is literally half. We pay 58 euros per month for gigabit internet service here in the Netherlands. Okay. In the US, we were paying $110 per month.
That is wild to me.
So similarly, for cell phone service, in the United States, we had a bomb deal with T-Mobile and we were still paying around $150 a month for unlimited data, calls, text, etc. for 2 lines.
I see.
Here in the Netherlands, again through T-Mobile, We actually are paying around, I think it's less than 70 euros in total. And that's with T-Mobile's unlimited everything plan here, which also includes 30 gigabytes of roaming anywhere in Europe. It also includes an add-on that gives us unlimited calling and texting from here to the United States. So, pretty good.
When we were getting this plan, I think the person at the store said it was going to be like 70 euros. And
I was like, per line?
Yeah, well, like I was like, oh yeah, like per line, that sounds about right, because that ends up, I was like, we're saving $10 a month, that's great. And then it was like, no, 70 euros
each,
like total. And I was like, what?
Crazy. All right, let's talk about health insurance. This is the big difference. So in the United States, your insurance is predominantly paid by your employer. Your employer will pay for a percentage of your insurance plan and it'll get taken out of all of your paychecks. Here, it's not like that. You are responsible for your own health insurance and you have to take that out through one of the health insurance.
Oh, that's a pain though. I'd rather, like, American style is much easier, I would say.
Insurance companies that, you know, operate, I guess, on behalf of the government.
And you're required to, right?
And you're required to. Yes, you're required to take out a minimum health insurance plan. Also, when we quit our full-time jobs, we were going to have to go on something called COBRA, which is something that only lasts for 18 months in the United States, and it essentially extends your employer's health insurance, and you get the same price for an additional 18 months, but you're responsible for paying the full amount. Okay. So that was going to be, for the two of us, over $1,100 per month.
What?
This is just for a basic, I mean, it wasn't like a premium healthcare plan.
Yeah, it wasn't the cheapest. It was, I would say, like middle of the road.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I have a prescription medication that I have to take every day, and it's a common prescription medication. In the United States, I still had to pay $10 every time I got it filled, which is once a month. My first experience with health insurance here in the Netherlands, I've had to pay nothing, which, I mean, that alone was a pretty remarkable experience. Here in the Netherlands, the way it works is you have the government mandated basic health insurance plan, and then you can choose to do a add-on on top of that the health insurance companies will offer to you based on your individual needs.
Like multiple add-ons.
Okay.
Right. And there are no pre-existing conditions or anything like that. They're not like in the United States where there are things that you would absolutely need to have covered. For most people, there are things like physiotherapy being fully covered, dental, which is still strangely separate, but
that's weird.
Strangely, birth control after the age of 32 is not covered under the basic health insurance plan.
Wow.
Why?
We pay for the two of us here.
Yeah, why? Honestly, that's
300.
I don't know. Netherlands seems more confusing. It's like you have to do it. Most stuff, do it yourself. You know.
4 euros per month, and that includes with the dental and everything too.
Yeah, just to like put some context around that, we were paying about $300 a month out of pocket when my employer was covering 100% of my cost and 75% of his cost in the United States. That's basically the same amount that we were paying with the employer covering that much of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. That alone is a huge savings.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one's just a small little bit. I pay a monthly fee for bookkeeping services. So since I'm self-employed, you're required to work with a bookkeeper here in the Netherlands just to make sure that you're paying your VAT properly, that you're paying your income taxes properly, etc. And that's around 58 euros per month. Let's talk about groceries. So
groceries, this is a big thing. I want to see this one.
In the
Can I do this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about groceries. So when we lived in the United States, we were budgeting about $650 a month for groceries. And like, I don't know if we were always meeting that budget.
$650 a month for groceries? I would still say that's a bit overpriced.
Budget or not.
We did eat vegan.
Yes, we did eat vegan, which I feel like made it a little more expensive.
Oh.
A lot more expensive.
Probably.
Contrast that to here in the Netherlands, where we are eating similar to how we did in the United States.
We eat cheese now.
Yeah, we're vegetarian because we really wanted to start eating cheese again. And we are budgeting about 500 euros per month for groceries.
The cost of groceries in the Netherlands is going up. And I know that that is a problem for a lot of the people that have lived in the Netherlands, especially those who are on like a pretty tight budget. But from people coming from another country like the United States, I am just constantly shocked at the price of staple items in the Netherlands, especially when you add in quality.
Yeah.
Compared to the United States. Here's the big one, rent. I feel like I want to do one of those things.
Okay, rent is an interesting one as well. So let's check this one.
Where they like black out the screen and they give the person like a fake voice, because I'm so ashamed of how much we pay for rent here.
Yeah. Before we talk about rent, I want to kind of set the scene here. We live in Rotterdam, which is probably one of the more expensive cities to live in here in the Netherlands. We live in the city. I think a typical 2-bedroom apartment in Rotterdam goes for roughly 1,500 to 2,000 euros per month, from what I understand. But when we moved here, we had a very tight timeline to actually find an apartment to move into, because we were paying an outrageous fee every month to live in a serviced apartment while we were looking for something more permanent. And there's a really bad housing crisis right now in the Netherlands, and there just aren't a lot of apartments. And the apartments that are available, especially in the price range I just mentioned, they have hundreds of showings and they go very, very quick, and they get bid up a lot of the time.
I went to one that was like right in that budget, which is I think really where we wanted to end up at. And I was at that showing for 10 minutes and I probably saw like 30 people walk through the door. And the real estate agent that we were working with said they had 18 offers the next day.
We've got a lot of rental experience. We've owned homes before in the United States, but here we've got 2 cats. I'm self-employed. We're moving, like we just moved here. We hadn't even gotten our residence permit yet. So, I mean, who knows what could have happened. We were just in a little bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting an apartment that was pretty much none of the things that we were looking for. That's not to say that we don't love the apartment that we're in. We actually really, really like this apartment, but it's more expensive than what we wanted. And it has a lot of things
That's the thing, if you rush into these things like apartments and stuff, because I probably did the same mistake as well. Like my previous place I was renting was like tiny, and we had 2 people in the house, and yeah, you need to just search for the correct thing that actually fits you.
Are great, but things that we weren't necessarily looking for. Here we have a really energy efficient apartment, which we've already talked about how much we actually ended up appreciating that.
Yeah, no gas. I never would have thought about that when we were looking at places.
We have an absolutely incredible view of Rotterdam, which we love.
That's
but
good.
It's also way bigger than we need. Like it's a 3-bedroom, and we don't need 3 bedrooms. Full disclosure, one of our bedrooms we sort of just treat it as a closet room. So we pay.
The 3rd bedroom, I would make that into like these guys have a studio, it seems like. They have the background. I would turn that bedroom into their streaming place, you know?
2,350 euros per month.
Wait, what?
We pay 2,350 euros per month.
No way. No, bro.
We're realistically, we're not going to stay here that long, maybe 1 or 2 years. But our goal is to eventually buy a home here in the Netherlands and move to a smaller city. So one of our objectives over the next year or so is to explore more of the Netherlands so we can find that smaller city that we feel will suit us or welcome us. And we'll have a good idea of where we actually do want to buy. But this is, it was essentially a decision that we made knowing that it was going to be temporary. Okay. So let's do a little recap of what we just talked about. For utilities, we're paying around 223 euros per month, which is more, unsurprisingly, given the energy crisis.
I guess we're going to see the total here. So this is going to be interesting.
Than what we were paying in the United States. Taxes didn't exist on rentals in the US, so that's new for us, and we're paying 39 euros per month for that. For contents insurance, it's slightly less than what you would typically pay in the United States for renter's insurance, but it's basically the same. For transit, we're paying way less, though we are comparing our previous car-driven lives, literally car-driven, in the United States to using public transportation here in the Netherlands.
Okay.
And we pay around 70 euros per month for that.
For both of us.
For internet, we're paying way less. For gigabit internet in the United States, we're paying $110 per month. Here we're paying 58 euros per month. Cell phone's another thing that's way less. In the United States, we were paying around $150 per month for both of us. Here we're paying around 70 euros per month. And that is for both of our lines with that unlimited call plan for calls back to the United States. For health insurance, we're paying a lot less. And this is comparing health insurance as a self-employed individual in the United States. This is looking at the cost that we would have had being on that temporary COBRA plan, not just something from the healthcare marketplace. So here we're paying 304 euros per month. Again, that is a lot less.
Yeah.
Bookkeeping, something I wasn't paying in the United States, 58 euros per month.
That's
here.
actually an interesting one. Never heard of bookkeeping, really.
Groceries, slightly less than what we were paying in the United States. We're paying around 500 euros per month for our groceries.
I'd still say that's a bit overpriced.
And then lastly, rent. Here we're paying around 2,350
That is just crazy, though.
euros per month. In the United States, it was more, but we were in Austin, Texas, so that was kind of in premium market rental and housing wise.
So if they were paying more in the United States, then, I mean, it's not too bad, you know?
All in all, we're saving around 34% every month on living costs living here in Rotterdam. And again, that's with the energy crisis.
Wow.
That's with the apartment that we're living in that is more expensive than what we wanted to pay. This is the first time I've actually really added this up, and I'm shocked. I mean, I knew that we were paying less, but I don't think I fully appreciated how much less we were paying.
No, that's wild.
That health insurance.
Yeah, once you add everything up and realize how much you actually pay every month, it's mind-blowing, guys.
It really, really makes a difference.
That's the big kicker on this is the health insurance for sure.
Yeah.
If you're looking to make a move to the Netherlands, we hope this video gave you a bit of insight into what you can expect for monthly expenses. Of course, everyone's situation is a little bit different, but we feel pretty good about where we landed.
Did anything we cover surprise you? Was something higher or lower than what you thought it would be? Or if you live in the Netherlands, was there something important that we left out? Let us know in the comments below.
Okay, that's it for now. We'll see you on the next.
Wow, very interesting video. I would actually go live in the Netherlands. I don't see why not. But that could be looked at in the future either way. Let me know, guys, your thoughts on this in the comments below. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.